Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 99 of Direwolf20's Let's Play of Minecraft 1.21. Today's plan, I kind of want to show you guys drones from Pneumatic. Only because it's a really cool mechanic that I've always thought was awesome. And we haven't had a chance to mess with them in this series yet. And, this series is all about me kind of just showing you how some things in the mods work. And drones is really cool. So I think we check that out today. Does that sound like a plan? So let's see what we can do with them and then see if we can come up with something cool to do. So there's a few things we're going to need, specifically from Pneumatic. First off, we're going to need the drone programmer. Which should be pretty straightforward to make. However, we are going to need some black stained glass, which is going to need some black dye. And I guess I'll use a wither thingy for that. That's cool. And then that, and then we should be cool. And we've got the turbine rotors crafting as we speak. Perfect. So the programmer is how we're going to make the drone do stuff. In addition, we're going to want some programming pieces. These guys are important because they're used to make the drone function, and you're going to need a bunch of them, so I recommend putting them on autocraft. Finally, we can go, well, I'm going to go ahead and craft the drone first, right? So for that, we're just going to need a finished PCB and some turbine rotors. And you guys remember the PCBs from previously. So that shouldn't be too bad to cook up. Nice. And then finally, we're also going to need a charging station and a dispenser upgrade. That's just going to be a good thing to have. Recommend having those guys. The drone's done, so that's ready to rock. Sweet. We do want the puzzle pieces, but before I do that, I'm going to want an RF compressor. So I think that's this guy, flux compressor. Yeah, this guy's cool. Flux compressors will generate air pressure out of forge energy. So basically anything that, does forge energy will be able to make the compressor for us and make compressed air. So drones need compressed air to run. You can have them charge themselves on the charging station. However, the charging station is going to need to have pressure in it. So therefore, I'm going to use the flux compressor for this. And let's just play with this a little bit outside for a minute, just so you guys can kind of see what this thing's all about. So first off, we'll get our flux compressor and we'll plop down the charging station on it. Okay. And then in addition to this, we'll use some power remote gate powery thingies. Oop, is that cool? So he's going to charge up. That should be good. Usually what I do, let's get some advanced pressure tubes that can handle 20-ish. This way I can put the pressure gauge thingy on it, and we can see how much pressure is getting stored. So input is power. We can throw some speed upgrades if we need. And you'll see this thing's kind of charging up already. So from Pneumatic, we're going to want the gauge thingy, pressure gauge tube module. Okay, we'll stick that on here. And then we're going to want that advanced doohickey that's that does the stuff. I think it's going to be, it's made with this. I always forget the name of it. This thing, module expansion card. Yeah, one of those. If you click this on here, so like normally this thing emits a redstone signal based on how much pressure is in the tube. However, if you click this guy on here, you'll notice that he's quickly now able to emit at a certain level. And you can like do all this thresholdy cool stuff, right? So what I would probably do is... What I usually like to do is some kind of like turn it on at some level and turn it off at another. I don't know. I might go with a simple one and just be like emit when above 15. Does that sound cool? Let's make it below. Yeah, no, emit when above 15. So turn off when you're, or no, let's make it below 15. So if you're below 15 bars of pressure, you should emit, which means you should only run on a high signal. And I'll get my redstone quill thingy here. There you go. Okay, so now you're below 15, which means you're happily running. But as soon as you hit 15, you'll stop. Okay, this guy's going to get a dispenser upgrade, which basically makes it so that any drones in the area can fly over here and charge themselves, which is awesome. And I'll start by getting the drone a little bit of pressure by popping him in there, and you'll see he'll charge up. And then finally, we're probably going to want some speed upgrades. This shouldn't be too big of a deal. And we do have some lubricant. Did I never set up speed upgrade automation? I guess not. So, where is our lubricant? Do we have lubricant in here? We don't even have lubricant automated? Come on, Direwolf, what are you doing? Come on, Direwolf, what are you doing? We don't even have lubricant buckets automated? Come on, bro. I guess what I could do... I want to see how my channels are down here. We are at 7 off in that direction. Guess what that means? We have room for exactly one more. Isn't that cool? So what I could have is a tank. Just a basic one should be fine. Right? What kind of channels we got going on here? All kinds of channels. So we're sensing lubricant levels. Okay. So what if I wanted to insert on orange? Nope, that's not the right color to go with. How about yellow? I bet channel 4 is not in use. Can avoid that. No biggie. Channel 4 is probably not in use, right? Nope, channel 4 is in use. I'll find a channel that's not in use. I've always said, like, I need to implement some... channel 10. I probably didn't use channel 10, right? I've always said I need to add a thing where it's like a simple UI where you can look at it and see which channels are in use and where. I just haven't gotten around to that yet. But channel 10 is what we're going to use to decide to extract lubricant out of here. So what I want to do is put you in there, and then lubricant should have no problem. And then we can bump that up to 12. And then we will extract on channel 10. No problem, right? So then he'll start making his stuff, right? Which is cool. And then we can have a bus and a cable. And then you can be partitioned to only do lubricant. So now, if we look here, we should have lubricant. Sweet. Okay. And then pneumatic craft speed upgrades should be doable. All I need is to get a lubricant, get a bucket's worth, and that's cool, right? I like that. Very cool. Okay. And then you're going to keep, you know, stuff in stock. I like it. Okay. Love it. I like automation. It's so fun. I'm just a big fan of automation kind of games in general. Now you, you know, are doing fine. I'm going to take you out of there. You're doing okay temperature-wise. So the flux compressor, the one detail with this guy, and it really only matters if you do speed upgrades on him, but the more temperature that builds up, or the hotter the compressor gets, the less efficient it becomes. So if you throw a bunch of speed upgrades in here, you're going to have to manage the temperature by doing some heat sinks. And that's going to be, you know, a whole thing. It's not a big deal, though. It's just, like, acknowledge it kind of deal. So, like, you can throw the heatsink here, and you'll see it'll start to build up heat, and this will, like, cool off a little bit. And there's lots of different ways you can mitigate your heat, you know, to prevent that from getting too crazy. But if you throw speed upgrades in there, you'll notice it's going to build up pressure really fast, but also build up heat really fast. And then your efficiency starts to drop, right? I think ultimately all it's going to wind up doing is making it cost more FE to generate the same amount of pressure. So, you know, is it a big deal? Depends how much, you're hurting for forge energy. So I'm going to throw just a few of those in there, and we'll throw a few of these in here, and that should be cool. And now we're ready to kind of play with drones. So drones are awesome. They can do all kinds of cool stuff. And I just kind of want to give you guys a little taste of what's possible with them in today's episode. I'm not going to go like super deep into drones. I've done that in some previous series. Usually I'll do it if I have like a specific thing I need to automate. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm not sure what else more I can automate right now. I feel like we've got, a lot of stuff really well automated. So we might be getting towards the end of the series here. And I have plans for a new one I want to start. But before we get into that, let's obviously play with these drones that I've been talking about. So the drone UI is really cool. You can basically, look at this. Go to the start widget. Oh, these are new. That's awesome. So the drones have, they're programmable. So you can make the drones do all kinds of neat stuff. And you program them using these puzzle pieces. So for example, you've got a start puzzle piece, and that's basically where the drones program will start. And you always need one of those. And then in addition, you have a bunch of different things. So you can attack entities, you can dig out areas, you can harvest. So I've got an idea. Maybe I don't want to build this here per se, but maybe. I've got an idea for something, and I'm curious to see how it plays out. But I think it would be neat to have the drone kind of act like a quarry while also using my Eclipse alloy paxel. So we could have it like dig straight down, but since it's on like infinite break speed and all that good stuff, it could go pretty good. So let's just see like some basic stuff. So what I would have to do is first tell the drone how to extract an item out of an inventory. So that would be import from inventory. Okay. And what that would do is it would take an item out of the inventory and store it on the drone, and the drone would be carrying it. So there's a couple things we can do with this. First off, we're going to need an area card, and that's going to tell the drone where the inventory is to pick up. Okay. So maybe I don't want to do this here. Maybe I should do this. I like this idea. I'm going to go do this in my quarry world. Just for fun. Just to see how it plays out, right? Yeah. I'm trying to imagine if there's like a cool way to like make this a quarry that runs like in a lot of areas, but we'll see. I'm going to basically want you facing that way, and then this, and then that, and then you, and then you, and less than 15, and then you're going to get 5. I'm going to do 5 and 5 rather than 6 and 4, because meh. Cool. And then the quill. And you're still on your redstone mode, right? Yes, that's why it's not running. Now he is running, and we're building up pressure, and that'll be cool. Oh, and then don't forget your dispenser upgrade on him too. So yeah, you're going to first start, and then import from inventory. And then we want to have an area card that specifies which inventory to part from. So basically, these puzzle pieces, these big ones, are like actions, right? So attack an entity, dig an area, harvest crops, right? Place blocks, right-click things, right? Pick up items, draw all this stuff, right? And then usually they can be modified with this stuff. So you can specify like what area it goes in. You can also do item filters. So if we wanted to like filter what items are allowed to come up here, we would drag this item filter card on, and we would modify the import from inventory with the item filter, right? And then there's, I think, middle click. I thought middle click would delete it, but I guess you can drag it out there and that'll delete it as well. Cool. So for the area card, first off, we're going to want a chest. And I'm probably going to want a couple chests here. So I'm going to have this chest where I'm going to should probably be using a different Paxel for this. Now, you know what? I'll keep the Paxel bound the way it is. But inside this chest is where my Paxel will go. Okay. And then Pneumatic has an area selection tool, GPS area tool. So there's two of them that you can get. The GPS tool stores a single coordinate in the world, and the GPS area tool stores like an area of effect. We're going to need both in a minute here. And the reason for that is we're going to need the GPS tool. So I guess I could just use the area tool. I think we can do that. I don't think I need to have both in my inventory. So let's see, right click this dude. Maybe. Right click a block, change the first coordinate. Left click a block, change the second coordinate. Sneak, scroll wheel, adjust active coordinate along player facing axis. Okay, cool. So that's the area 2. There we go. That's what I want. Perfect. Okay. So that's the area he can pick up from. Okay. So if we like preview this area, we'll see it's that. Okay. And then preview area off. Cool. So right now, if I were to stick this drone in here and name this dig area, because that's what it's going to do, I can export the program from this UI into this drone by hitting that button. And it uses up puzzle pieces from your inventory when it does it. I needed a start and an import and an area, so it used 3 puzzle pieces. Okay, so if I place this drone in the world, he's going to go pick up that item. And that's all he does. Cool? I think you can use a wrench to pick him up, but whatever. Cool. So then we would want to do like a dig, right? So dig area. So I'm going to grab this puzzle piece and I'm going to say from here to here. But it said I can scroll wheel, right? So P1. Sneak scroll wheel will adjust P1. Sneak scroll wheel. Okay, so shift right click to make it adjust P1. Shift left click to make it adjust P2. Right? So I want to adjust P2. So I want to do this. Actually, all the way down to 63. That's cool. I like that. Now I can middle click this and drag it over here and it copies the area card, but I want to change the area. So I want to go from this area to this one, right? So from 68 to negative 63. And it'll be a box, right? That's fine. So if I preview this area, all the way down. Is that cool? Okay. And then I'm going to want to export to inventory. So whatever you're carrying, export into this chest at this location. And that's about it. And then we're done, I think. So that's like the super basic. Oh, you can teleport to location. Nice, I like that. Go to location, teleport to location. Do I need something for that to work? Oh, it uses 10,000 there, which is capacity. Okay, cool. We'll see. I might consider that. But now if I throw this drone in here, that should be cool. So he should fly over to the chest, grab the Paxel, and then start harvesting this block downward. And let's make sure the Paxel is enabled. And he's set to instant break, drops teleporter, and hammer 7x7. Is that cool? Should we give it a shot? It should work. It should. Look at that. You can even see like the drone renders here. I gotta say, like Pneumaticraft's drone system, honestly, super impressive. Like, really, really cool. I think it's really underrated how awesome it is. But let's, let it do its thing. Now that's interesting. He's not behaving correctly. I mean, he's kind of behaving correctly, but he's breaking the block on the wrong face. So I wonder if there's a way to specify in the dig block command. I think I need the pneumatic wrench. So this is kind of working. This is kind of working. It is kind of working if you look at it. Like it's facing the wrong direction. Like it's breaking the block on the side rather than on the top. And as a result, it's, But I wonder, like I said, if there's a way to tell Pneumaticraft. Oh, look, he decided to teleport anyway. Nice. Now, I'm assuming you recognize that there's no blocks to break there anymore, so you're, like, done, right? So let me charge this dude up real quick. 1 bar of pressure should be sufficient. There you are. Thank you for that. So is there a way I can configure order closest? Limit interaction. The most specific. Okay, preview area. Order closest. Low to high, high to low, I guess. I'm assuming that the dig area command. Yeah. I'm assuming the dig command doesn't think it matters what direction you dig from. So, like, because that's true of most blocks, right? It doesn't matter if you break a block on this face or on this face or on this face or on this face, right? None of that matters unless you're using one of my tools and it has these cool abilities on it. So what I think I will do, I wonder if there's like a relative direction too, by the way. So yeah, you're gonna do that to that. Now there might be in medium or even advanced components. There's more advanced things you can do in here. So condition coordinate, condition redstone, condition light level. These are all conditional things. Labels and jumps, for each coordinate, logistics, standby. I'm looking for something. Item assignment. I'm thinking it might be this. What's this guy do? Coordinate operator to define and or manipulate variables to allow for some advanced drone functionality. Oh, that's cool. Well, what I'm going to do is see if I can solve the, like, break from the top to bottom deal, like the face of the block that you break on. So I'm hoping with high to low here, that's going to make a difference. So let's do that. And you'll notice it doesn't require any more programming pieces because, like, we're not changing anything. Let's do here. And then we'll go down to 63. And I'm curious if this will make a difference. We'll go down to 64. Should be cool. So I'm going to change you to be here. I'm going to change you to be here. And that should be good. Okay, program that and go. Go grab the pickaxe. He still doesn't break. That's a bummer. I guess that's one thing that I'm not quite sure. Wouldn't that be cool if we could use that to mine like a little bit? Because what we could do, if I could break this from the top and get it to break the top face of the block versus the, you know, probably north face is what I'm assuming it's defaulting to. Like, what direction is this? I got to assume, yeah, no. It's got to be, I'm almost certain it probably defaults to north, because I think that's the default in the code. It's probably just breaking the north face and calling it a day, right? There we go. And now it's heading home. That's cool. How cool is that? I do love the drones. Hey, get back here. Where are you going? Yep. Okay. So, So I'm in advanced mode. Is there anything else with dig that I can do? Place, pick up items, drop items, void item. Unfortunately not. I got to imagine that there's not much I can do in terms of what direction it does. I'm just assuming that there's no way to make this work this way. Yeah, that's a bummer. That is a bummer. And there's probably no filters that I can do on the dig. Let's just check. Yeah, you can filter it. But I don't think there's any setting for which side it breaks on. Well, that's a little bit of a bummer. Oh well. It was worth a try, though. And you guys got to see drones. So what I'm going to say is wrapping up point here for the episode. We checked out drones today, which is what I wanted to do. It's definitely, there's a million things you could do with them. So you can basically make drones automate almost any task in the game. You can dig areas, you can attack entities, you can place blocks, you can right-click entities. You can pick up fluids and move them around. You can move items around. So you can basically use them. You can even pick up entities and move them around. So there's literally like 1,000 things you could do with drones if you really wanted to get into it. So if you're somebody who's like into programming or just wants to get into programming, this might not be a bad place to start dabbling a little bit, because at the very least, doing this kind of thing will teach you logic and let you figure out how to, do stuff, which is, in my opinion, like kind of an entry into programming a little bit, because this is technically a programming language. It's very basic, but it's not even basic. It's pretty complex. You can do some really cool stuff with it, but it will teach you how to think like a programmer a little bit. So for now, Devil 20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Did not go quite as well as I wanted to, just because that dig thing doesn't have a feature, but I'm actually going to go message the mod author and see if we can add that as an option in the dig area thing. But for now, like I said, wrapping up point, Devil 20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.